Hello all of yous and Flexians, my name is Mercarosis, and welcome back to Doki Doki Literature Club, episode 11. I think. 11? 11. And I know I usually start off in the classroom, or the club, but I just wanted to say that we got weird Sayori over here, and we also got weird little things going on with the title, like the whole new game, load game, like all of this. It's weird. And then we got it, like, right down here, too. So, let's just start off right there. In the last one, we also had the weird tilting zoom in of the classroom. So we had that going on for us, too. So, let's just keep going. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she's waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Nasuki is rummaging around in the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more, but at the same time I would feel bad for distracting her for reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like the same book she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be in the first few pages. Crap. I think she's noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me and her eyes meet for a split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in the book. Sorry. I was just spacing out, you know. I'm under this sensing I made her uncomfortable.
Oh. It's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place.
What the fuck? Yuri, your right eye kind of going away. What the fuck's going on?
But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so...
That's the book you gave me earlier, right?
Mm-hmm. I wanted to reread some of it.
Oh, it's back in place now. Great. Weird, cool magic trick you got there, Yuri. Don't ever do it again.
Not for any particular reason.
Just curious, how come you have two copies of the same book?
Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday, that's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy two of them.
Ah, I see. Did it happen to become yesterday, getting those books? There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decide to let it go. I'll definitely start reading this here.
I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and reliable story.
Or relatable, sorry. Is that so? What's the story about then?
Well,
I look at the cover of the book. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous looking eye symbol on the front cover.
Basically, it's about this religious camp that's turned into a human experiment prison. And the people trapped there must have this trait that turns them into killing machines that lust for blood. But the facility gets even worse, and they start selectively breeding people by cutting off their limbs and affixing them to... oh, that might be a little bit of a spoiler.
Yeah. Affixing limbs to where? To killing machines lusting for blood? Yeah, that's crying out. It's sending out some little warning flares, like, hey.
But anyway, I'm really into it. The book, I mean, not the thing about the limbs.
That's kind of... Yeah, no, that... I wouldn't be surprised if you were in with the limbs either. That's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere.
Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Mercarosis?
No, it's not that. It's just, I wouldn't openly admit it. I mean, I can definitely enjoy these kinds of stories, so don't worry.
I hope so.
Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri is into these things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different.
It's just that this kind of story. It's kind of that challenges you to look at the life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen not just because someone wants to be evil,
but because the world is full of horrible people and we're all worthless anyways.
Yuri, are you feeling alright? Do you need to go see a doctor? Psychologist, maybe?
Maybe even a priest. We might need to exercise you a little bit. Then suddenly.
I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry.
It seems like you've been possessed by demons before. Good to know. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Because, well, you know, Sayori, the person that died a while back ago, I'm the only one who remembers her, and it's not like anyone else remembers. It's not like you guys don't know anything, or
But I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fulfill my thoughts,
my whole body is what? Priest. Fucking call Ghostbusters, maybe.
I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. Please stop me if I start talking too much.
How about I stop you if you start sounding all demonic? Yeah, that's a better course. I really think that you don't need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. Don't worry. And by not realizing that she's slowly going more insane. Please, I can just listen. It's a literature club after all, right?
That's true.
In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? Jeez, fucking no. Ow, my eardrums, for one. 2, you would think I would turn down the fucking music. Yeah, no.
Yes. I mean, you don't have to, but...
What are you saying, weird demon-possessed Yuri? It's not like I just saw the inner glimpse of your inner demons. Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book and I put it into my bag. Alright. Is it fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's.
Yeah.
Are you sure? You're not going to try to stab me while I'm reading, right? You seem a little apprehensive. A little bit, like, tight-wired, I guess. You look like you're about to snap, Yuri.
I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone.
I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything.
Alright.
I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand that Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not particularly a bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri's in the corner of my eye. I see her, like, head slowly doing a 360 around her neck, and she's just, like, foaming at the mouth. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. She's dead. She's possessed. Looks like she's reading from my book instead.
Sorry.
I was just bathing in what? She fucking call a priest. Get the minister of Mercurosis. I don't have a minister. But if I did, he'd be Minister Merc. The holy priest. Give me a paladin, hell. I'll take a holy person with a sword. Might have to exercise more than just her body. We might have to actually kill her. I mean, Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I'm getting off track.
I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean...
Don't worry about it, I do it too. I mean, I just did it. For the whole paladin thing? Yeah. Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's, then hold my book more between the two of them.
I suppose so.
Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess this is kind of difficult to turn a page.
Here.
Oh, gee, thanks, Yuri. It's like you did in the last time this happened. With Sayori. Anyways, Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same thing with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way I turn the page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after I flip to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. Hell, I'm sitting right next to a possessed human. It's as if I can feel the warmth on Yuri's face and she's in the corner of my vision.
Are you ready?
For what? Sacrifices?
To turn the page.
Yeah, sorry. Don't mind me and my stupid rambles. I think I got a little bit distracted there for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her.
That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a little bit longer.
Yuri, please stop smiling. That makes it even creepier, please.
It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me.
Yeah. Help me. Please. Thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it on my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. Her thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Jesus, there must be some sort of erotic fixation with books and page turning. There has to be. That way I said that makes it sound like there really is. I apologize. Hey Yuri, this might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. We're calling the Ghostbusters. We're calling a prime minister of some sort. We are exorcising the shit out of this girl. What the living fuck? I might even have to change her voice. I'm so totally going to. Crazy Yuri, ready?
Don't relate to this character at all. Definitely not.
Really? Are you sure about that? I was just thinking that the way she second guesses things she says and all that.
That's what you were talking about. Sorry. I thought you meant something else about her.
Something else?
Never mind. We didn't even get that far yet. So I don't know what came over into my head.
Yuri, are you feeling alright? Do I need to call you a nurse?
Huh?
Yuri's been a little fidgety ever since we started reading. It's not like she's possessed by a demon at all. You could rest if you feel sick or something. Or I can call a priest. I mean, I'll find one eventually on... I don't know. Your breathing is a little...
Wait, really?
Yuri puts her hand onto her chest as if to feel her heartbeat.
I didn't even notice. Anyway, I'm fine. I just need some water.
Alright, then don't push yourself. Yuri stands up and practically rushes out of the classroom. What on earth was that about? Jesus Christ. Oh, hey Monica.
Mercorosis? Did something happen just now?
Huh? What? No, Yuri's not possessed. Call a priest. I mean, she's not. I'm not crazy. Maybe a little bit, but that's besides the point. Call a priest. Call Ghostbusters. Call somebody. Tell me Yuri's going to be okay after this. I have no idea. Yuri was acting a little strange, I guess.
So, you don't know anything?
Sorry, I can't say I do. Are you worried about her?
Oh no, not really. I was just making sure that you didn't do anything to her.
No, nothing at all. I don't have the certifications of a priest to exorcise anyone. Whoa, what? Wait a minute, whoa. What is going on? What? What the fuck? Okay. I pause it right here. Well, I'm not pausing it. I'm going to, do a quick little boop, boop to the game. Because it's not loading the text. But I'm seeing, don't worry, I believe you, silly. So give me 3 seconds to just, achoo! Okay, there. Everything's back to normal. What the fuck? Anyways, I guess we continue. I guess I have to keep an eye on that. It's a good thing I keep, in the corner of my eye, I do see the recordings. So it's a good thing I did catch that.
Yuri just does this sometimes. It's nothing alarming.
Alright, if you say so. Great, now I'm subconsciously looking at that because I'm like, oh shit, don't fuck up the game, don't fuck up the game. Game's already fucked up. Don't fuck up my recording. Alright, audio's still there though, so.
Anyway, why don't we start sharing our phones with each other?
Huh? What about Yuri? Shouldn't we wait for Yuri?
Well, she might be a while, so I just figured we'd get started without her. Is that okay?
Yeah, I was just asking. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it back into my bag. Okay, who should I show my phone to first? I haven't talked to Monica first, ever, I don't think. So we'll go Monica. I should start with Monica. Yesterday she seems eager to read my poem, and I wanted to know that I'm putting in effort.
Hi, Mercarosis. Have a good time so far?
Yeah.
Good. Glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever want any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay?
Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course, I'll be afraid to bring things up, but I'll let you know if it happens. And I mean, I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in.
Anyway, want to share your poem with me?
It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. You leave me no choice.
Don't worry, Mercarosis. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's that sort of barrier that we'll learn to get past soon.
Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem.
Great job, Mercarosis. I was going, oh, in my head while reading it.
Or is it ooh? Anyways.
It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you.
It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low, you know? That way I always count when I put in some effort.
That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Sometimes I feel like Yuri's mind is just totally detached from reality. I don't mean like that's a bad thing though, but sometimes I get the impression that she just totally given up on people. She spends so much time in her own head that it's probably a much more interesting place for her. But that's why she gets so happy when you treat her with a lot of kindness. I don't think she's used to being indulged like that. She must be really starved for social interaction, so don't blame her for coming on too strongly. Like earlier, I think if she gets too simulated, she ends up withdrawing and looking for alone time.
Suddenly, the doors open.
Yuri!
Demon face!
I'm back. Did I miss anything? Not really. Well, we all started sharing our poems with each other. Huh? Already? I'm sorry for being late. No need to apologize. We still have plenty of time, so I'm more than glad that you took all the time you needed. Alright. Thanks, Monica. I suppose I should go get my poem now. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good.
You sound pretty confident for somebody who claims to not be very good at it. I'm humming because it's like Monica. She's been. Yuri's been the weird one of this entire thing. I haven't really talked to Natsuki, and Monica is being regular old Monica, like in the last one. Well, I guess Natsuki is too. Yeah, okay, never mind. I'm thinking way into it. Anyways,
well, that's because I have a sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know?
I see. Well, let's read it then. Hole in the wall. Oh, Jesus.
But he wasn't looking at me.
I need a cup of water.
But he wasn't looking at me. Confused, I frantically glanced at my surroundings. But my burned eyes can no longer see color. Are there others in this room? Are they talking? Or are they simply poems on flat sheets of paper? The sound of frantically scrawling playing tricks on my ears. The room begins to crinkle, closing in on me. The air I breathe dissipates before it reaches my lungs. I panic. There must be a way out. It's right there. He's right there. Swallowing my fears, I brandish my pen. So, what did you think?
It's very free-form, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really in the right person to ask for feedback. I absolutely suck at English, so me grading or criticizing your writing, no.
It's okay.
Oh my god. I haven't had a cup of water for like the past 3 hours and my throat is raw. So when my throat gets raw, I get kind of sleepy. That's a lie, I just start yawning. Anyways, no correlation with water and me yawning, whatsoever. Anyways,
yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performing out loud, it can be really powerful.
What was the inspiration behind this one?
Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you can say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit.
An epiphany? Really?
Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that, because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try too hard to make it perfect, you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot too long, you get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening.
Aha. Oh, well, Yuri. Hi, Yuri. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten.
Exceptional.
Huh? What was that? Possession?
Did I say that out loud?
Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face.
going to hate me.
Yuri, I'm standing like 4 feet away from you. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri.
Huh?
Oh, there's my mouse. Okay, I was looking for it.
I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for?
Yuri takes a breath.
So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicate you've written a lot of poetry before.
Really? I mean, the only time I've ever written poetry was in school or earlier when Sayori was alive. I mean, wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again.
Well, I know that. I just meant,
Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. Aha! She traces her finger along the words in the poem as if breaking it down more thoroughly.
Yeah. Okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers.
Bullshit. Why? Well, she first said exceptional. So, I mean, really couldn't have done anything wrong, and she believed me when I said this was my first time. And she's like, I knew that. Yeah, sure you did, Yuri. But maybe the demon inside of you knew.
And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick on them.
Or your demon told you.
I think that most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their own style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened.
Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Oh, and she doesn't sound like a demon, or looks like one for any matter.
Of course, that's not something I can blame for. There are so many different skills and techniques to go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building up. But getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Nasuki can be a little bit biased, though.
Biased? How?
Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking to people about like that. Sorry.
It's fine, whatever. I'm not sure if Yuri's is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Nasuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now, though?
Please do. I'd love to share my thoughts process behind it.
Yuri smiles dreamily as if she's rare opportunity for her. Which itself is kind of funny. After all, this isn't supposed to be a literature club, isn't it? Oh god. At least this is short. Ghost under the light. Tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath amber glows. Bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to replace by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe. Calm. Breathing air of the present but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. Huh. Alright. Sure.
I'm sorry, I have such terrible handwriting.
What? I wasn't thinking that at all.
But you took a long time to read.
It took me like 30 seconds. Well, I don't read script very often, and you read a book with me. You know how fast I read. I just think your handwriting is pretty.
That's a relief.
Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive.
It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems.
Not at all.
I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest. Since this is our first time sharing, I want to write something a little bit more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose.
Are you into ghosts, Yuri?
Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Merc Roses.
Yeah, I bet that's the demon inside of you saying,
He's on to us. Quick, divert his plans. Divert his mindsets. He mustn't find out about us.
really? I must have totally missed the point then.
Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all.
You just complained that I took too long to read it. You know what, ma'am? I'm ending this episode. Why? Because it's been 30 minutes already, and that's episode. And I need to go get a drink. I will be continuing this immediately after, though, so stay tuned for the next episode. But until then, I hope all of you Flexians have enjoyed, and if you have, don't forget to leave a like, comment, favorite, share, and to subscribe if you have not already. And until next time, stay sharp, everybody. Stay sharp. See ya.